Oh, yeah. By the way, we're in Kansas.
In Kansas City with the footballers.
Ooh, FIFA, here we come. Okay, no, but for real, it's I came down here for a work training for 2 weeks, and my dear friend Liz decided that she was going to come down last minute and check out the scenery.
Yeah, I'd never been to Kansas City, so I thought, well, it's a 5-hour drive. I'll just knock a couple of hours off the last day of work on Friday. The weather looked fairly decent, so I got a nice drive down.
Came in Friday night.
Came in Friday night,
Yeah.
and we've just been hanging out, doing a bit of shopping, this and that.
Yeah, so we're going to talk a little bit about traveling because Liz obviously is staying in my room. It's like a little suite with a kitchenette and pull-out
We're coming to you
couch.
live from the Residence Inn.
Yes, the Residence Inn. And we were just kind of talking about like why my first thought when I was packing was why do us as women feel like we need to have our house like clean from top to bottom? I need every lick of like laundry done so that I can make all my packing choices. Are you like that?
I do that more because I want a stress-free return.
Well, I think I do that too, but I know that Josh is at home right now, probably just annihilating our home
Yeah.
with the dogs.
So it never stays the same, does it? You come back to it, it's not how you left it.
No, he's probably hiring the Merry Maids to come in like on Thursday before I get back on Friday.
Yeah, I'm only have been gone like 48 hours, but I'm still going to go back to not what I left, right? So, yeah, well, when I pack, let me think about that. When I pack, I think I probably about a week before I kind of have a mental picture of what I think I might be taking.
Mm-hmm.
And so I then plan my work outfits
Around that.
around that so that I'm not dirtying up anything
Right.
that I think I might be wanting to take.
Okay.
Of course, it varies, doesn't it? You've come down here for work. It's not like a pleasure trip, although
Right.
you've got to have a bit of everything.
Yeah, so I'll have
And
to
you
maybe,
do have a bit of everything.
we'll maybe have
My
to post a
goodness.
picture on our Facebook page of what I brought in because I did
What
take a
the-
picture. I had
Never seen it before.
2 garment bags. I had a large suitcase. I had a small suitcase full of shoes. I had
She has so many
my
shoes
work
here,
bag.
people.
We should count them up. I need options. I am a girl that needs choices.
Everything needs to coordinate perfectly, clearly. And
Yeah, and I know that you stick to that like kind of black and white packing rule, but for me I was like I might feel like I need to wear some color and be fun, so I need, options for that. Also like when you had gotten into the shower, you noticed I had like all the things.
oh my, she's got the hand mitts, she's got the turban, she's got everything from the different types of loofahs that you could want. She packed more in her bathroom bag than I probably would have packed to go on a 2-week cruise.
It's funny because my aunt, she's come to stay at our house before, and she made the comment when she got into our shower. She's like, "Poor Josh. He has like this little like single corner shelf with like body wash and a
That's
bar
it.
of soap."
Body wash. That does everything for a man.
Oh, it does. It washes all of the things. But on my hand, I've got one of those like over the shower head like holders that's I swear to like floor to ceiling, and it's full of things. And I was like, well, I have to have my scrubs and my face scrub and my body scrub, and I gotta have
Your
like
foot
the oil
scrub?
and my foot scrub. I gotta have, the deep conditioning stuff for on the deep conditioning hair day. I need regular shampoo. I need face wash. I need things.
Yeah,
I might be a little extra.
She's a high maintenance. She's a high maintenance traveler, and of course, used to be like that when I was younger. So when I was younger, I used to take the bigger suitcases because, number one, when I traveled with my mum, she always wanted us dressed up nice, right? So we had to make sure we had all the clothes when I was traveling with my mum. That was when I was more of a teenager. So that kind of carried over in my idea of what you have to pack when you go on holiday. And so I picked, when I packed my stuff, I used to think about, how many pairs of shoes, this, that, and the other. Well, when you have 2 boys and you have a husband who just wants to have a plan from 9 to 5 or 9 to 10, should I say?
Oh, he's got an itinerary that's packed.
And you're going to have no time to go back to your room to change, to go out for dinner. No, never.
What?
Never, ever, ever.
So we'd be divorced.
Yeah, so we I don't get to get dressed up ever or go out looking fancy or because we just go at the end of the day. So I've changed my whole packing around that really. So now it's just always like pieces that will all work together. Yeah.
Paul would hate me.
Oh, yeah. Well, I remember once when the kids were little and we were going down to Florida and we used to always go down to, I still absolutely love Longboat Key, but we used to go to Longboat Key and there would be like one of those lovely little places on the beach where you would have like a small 2-bedroom, like with a kitchen and then you're out of the lanai there's a pool and then a pathway down to the beach. That was the perfect setup for me. Small,
Yep.
kitchen,
And close.
can put the kids to bed. You could sit literally and see them from the pool. And then you've also got the beach. You don't even have to cross the road. It was the perfect setup. We used to go there as often as I could get Paul to go there because he would go, "Oh, we're going to Longboat Key again." And I'd be like, "Yeah, because we've got the kids." And once when I'd done all the packing, Missy, I'd got the car seats, I'd got the pack and play, and I'd got everything ready because we were driving down. He looked at it and he goes, "Oh, that's not all going to fit in the car." He goes, "One of those is going to have to stay back." And I went, "Well, that would be your suitcase then."
Yeah. You're going to stay home then.
Because this is all going to have to fit in.
Yep. Make it work.
Seriously. But that's the difference between men and women, isn't it?
Yes. They literally, well, and I know when we traveled to Oregon last year for Sydney's wedding, I had to like kind of go through the checklist with Josh, like, hey, do you have, dark socks to go with your suit? Do you have a belt? Do you have this? And he was like, oh yeah, I guess I'm going to have to get some dress socks. I'm like, oh my Lord.
Yeah, we don't want to see that erogenous zone of the ankle, right? That ankle.
No.
There's nothing more unattractive than when a man sits down, the trousers go up, or the pants, as you call them here, and the trousers come up, and then you see that ankle above the sock.
But now it's a thing. It's a thing.
Did you see? Got no socks.
Well, yesterday when we were down at the plaza walking around, there was that gentleman opening up that men's suit shop, and he had on like the nicest suit, and he bent down to like put the lock on the door, and I noticed he had on like really nice dress shoes and no socks with this like suit, and he was a younger guy, he was attractive, but I'm thinking it's just so odd for me to like, I can't.
Yeah, well, with
that's
moccasins,
why I know I'm getting old.
The moccasin look I like.
Yes.
Moccasin, no
or
socks.
Or like a deck shoe, something like that.
Yes.
That I can get around.
Yeah, but even so, you've got a sock on in there because otherwise your little pinkies are sweating, aren't they?
Your little pinkies.
And there's nothing nice, especially in this kind of a heat. And let's talk about that heat, right?
Oh, it was like we were in like
Tornado Alley, people in the UK. Tornado Alley.
Well, that too. Yeah, Liz had to deal with
I thought I was Dorothy at one
two
point.
storms. That first storm, the first night, Friday night, I thought that the lightning was literally going to take us out. It was so loud. And
I slept through.
I did not. And then last night we had to scoot back to our hotel by about 6:30 because that storm was rolling in. It was like one side of the sky was like bright and cheery and clear of clouds, and the other side was like a wall.
And I was still on I'm the mum with two boys mode, dragging Missy all the way around Kansas City.
Yes,
we got to see this, we got to see that. We got to do the Union
She
Station.
had to chat GPT a whole day full of stuff. And I was like,
chill, Liz, chill.
We literally had to come back halfway through the day and drop off our things after our cocktails at lunch and
take a snooze.
We had to take a little nap.
Those cocktails was something else, though. I can't remember what it was called.
No, it was the D cup.
Oh, that's right.
It was
we,
the D cup.
We called it triple D cup because between Missy and I, we've got at least that.
Oh, we've got more than that. Our cup runneth over. Yeah, the drinks were amazing, and we had this wonderful, wonderful waitress named
Heather.
Yes, and then for all of you people that know that I'm a huge plant person, there was this huge indoor plant with
she kept eyeing this plant
it
was
was
some handsome guy.
Yes, right? I was even touching it like a handsome man too. But no, it was this beautiful like variegated pothos, and they had a big tree in it. And I'm like, I know that I think some of this is gonna fall on the ground next to the table, and I'm gonna take this home. And okay, so I have a conscience, and I just said to our dear friend Heather, I'm like, Heather, do you think I could have a little sprig of this plant? She's like, oh my gosh, I take care of all the plants here. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is just heaven on earth right now.
As she whipped out her little
She had little
cutters.
clippers in her pocket, the little waitress. I love her. I was like, you're my spirit animal. And so she did. And I said, well, I even have a wet paper towel here, a little wet napkin. She's like, oh, I'll do better than that. And she came back to the table and she had the clipping in like a to-go cup with water, and the little sprig was sticking through
So
the
Missy
straw
can
part.
just take. So we've named the clipping Heather.
Yep, Heather.
So Heather is coming home with Missy on Friday. So
Yes, she is loving life right now. I know Josh right now, if he's listening, he's going to be like, another dang plant. But I had to.
she's very pretty.
She is very pretty.
We had a lovely time. We shopped around and then we went up to Union Station to take a gander there. It was somewhat disappointing in terms of the actual station building. I mean, it would have been beautiful.
Well, and
but
it was
filled
full
with, of World Cup stuff.
Yeah.
Which is kind of exciting because we got to hear all the cheering as the Brazilians were playing yesterday, and they had a big old setup there where everyone was watching.
Kind of like a watch party inside, and they
Yeah,
had lots of little
yeah.
like shops and
stands where you could buy. There was lots of people selling very weird types of jewelry. I tell you, people.
very interesting.
Oh my! I'd never seen some of those plates. It looked like you would need like to be a bodybuilder in order to carry some of these pieces of jewelry around.
Yeah, very eclectic, but very
Heavy.
interesting. And then
It was like more like art around
and
your
then
neck.
do you want to talk about you trying on clothes and that little stand-up try-on?
Oh, yeah. There's this little stand in the middle. And she goes, and I found these pants. And she goes, oh, yeah. She goes, we've got a little try on area. And it was 2 curtains in a circle that clipped together with magnets. And seriously, people, I mean, being that bit older, when you're trying on pants, you got to you're balancing on one leg and you're worried that you're going to wobble
And fall out.
over and fall out in front of everybody.
There was no stool in there because I thought the same thing when I was trying on pants, and
I was like, oh my gosh, what if I fall out?
and I wasn't
these
trying to take my
magnets-
shoes off either, so I'm like trying to like get out and get that. Oh yeah, and
Those
then
magnets weren't that strong either.
no,
So,
no.
so it wouldn't have taken much for me to come flying out naked. And I would be like, oh, we're not quite naked, people. It would not have been an attractive thought. And then we had this really fun little photo booth. Well, tell them about the photo booth.
Oh, so there's a little photo booth, and it just says dreaming of soccer.
Yeah.
And it's like a bed that's like sitting upright, but you basically stand behind it and you kind of pose like you're sleeping, and you take the photo and
So I took a really cute picture of Missy, and she's sleeping like a baby with her hands under her face. And she goes to me, I get in there. She goes to me, sprawl out, Liz. So
but the picture, it made the best picture. And
It
we
was
just
funny.
couldn't, we just kept laughing and laughing. And I think, when it comes to vacations like that, it's about being silly and just being your true authentic self and just having those like
Spontaneous
laughs
times.
that like you don't get in everyday life when you're working and
No.
taking care of your family and stuff. So like a little like, girls trip that you didn't plan. You're like, oh my gosh, this was such a great idea.
Yeah.
And obviously after a week of working in the hospital up here or down here, I guess in St. Luke's, excuse me, training, some further EVS training. This was such a refreshing weekend. So yeah.
Yeah, we've had fun. And last night, oh my gosh, we had to get back in because there was another huge storm
Huge.
last night. It was a massive line and there were tornadoes on the ground and straight line 80-mile-an-hour winds coming through Kansas City.
Liz made sure to have the TV on. It was like we were back home watching the KWQC
Yeah, no.
first alert.
I was watching like 2 different types of radar, and I was like, oh my God, what is going on? Fortunately, there were no like flying trees were going to come in through
But the
our
rain was
hotel.
just coming down in like sheets, just like in waves. And like
yeah.
the parking lot next to us, we could look out our window and see it was like flooding.
Yeah, they had cancelled the evening party for the FIFA. They
Yeah,
had
the Fan
cancelled
Fest.
it. Yeah,
They
cancelled
sent
it.
everybody home early.
Can you imagine if they'd all been caught in that? That would have been like...
No, it's like 25,000 people that they're, I can't imagine, just running amok in a storm trying to end the traffic. You
it
know?
would have been terrible. People
Yeah.
trying to leave and get out, it would have been awful. So yeah.
Should we talk about our breakfast and our lunch, like what we had and how delish the
Oh
food
my gosh,
was?
the food down here, everywhere you go smells of barbecue.
Yes.
And that's Paul's favorite food. It's not necessarily my favorite food of choice, but the smell of it everywhere is just, and the food is so good here. We went out. Missy has a favorite breakfast
First
restaurant.
Watch. So good. And
Yeah.
honestly, can I be a spokesperson? Please, we can be. We'll podcast from First Watch someday.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yes, and the service was really good. The girl was really nice. She comes over. She goes, she poured our water. She goes, "Oh, do you want anything with your anything with your drink?" And I went, well, we'd like some food.
And she just started laughing. She looked at you and like you were crazy.
Anything with your coffee? And I went, well, yeah, I like some food.
She meant water. Do you want water with your coffee? But Liz, with her accent down here, she's from a strange land. We probably had 100 people ask us, "Where are you from?" And then she's like, "Iowa," and they look at her all crazy.
Yeah, and you would think that with the International World Cup here that they would not be quite so
They're
excited about-
mesmerized with your beautiful voice. It's the voice of an angel.
Oh, I wish I could sing like one, but there we go.
But yeah, so we went to First Watch, and then I ordered little honey butter biscuits
Oh, they
with
were like scones. English people, they were scones. They came and they were scones.
and it had like
It was afternoon tea.
a whipped butter, and then which you said it was like a cream.
well,
for you guys.
We would normally not have that whipped butter. We would normally have clotted cream, which is a million times better than whipped butter.
I'll need to try that sometime.
Yeah. When you come to England, we'll have clotted cream. It's really hard to get here.
But then it also had berry compote,
Which
and
was
it was
delicious.
so good. There's some in our fridge, which we brought back to the hotel. And
Yeah, because we couldn't eat it all. It was so much food, people.
no, what did you end up getting for the breakfast?
I was torn because it's just too. When people who haven't been to America, like English people, friends of mine, if you haven't been to America, you don't understand how many choices you have to have. And then I sit with Missy, who she's going, "Oh, is there salt in that? If you could put a little bit more of this in that, or if you could just put this on the side, and if how is there going to be like onions in the thing?
I didn't
Could you
say
put
any
those
of
on there?
that.
You did, and then it was just like, oh, and then if I could just have a little bit of this with it, or that with it, or the other with it, and I'm like, in England, we just look at the menu and we go, I'll have that one, that's fine, and we don't do all the. Oh, could I have no tomatoes in it? Or, oh no, that's what is it? You didn't want the feta cheese. Or what options do I have instead of the feta? I was like, oh,
That's
can
an
you do
American
that?
thing.
Yeah, it's a real American thing. If you go to England and you said, oh, could I have this without the feta? They would look at you like,
Get the hell out of here.
why? Why are you having it without the feta?
So just to back up, I've had it with feta, and it's okay with feta, but I wanted to try it with a different cheese.
Yeah, no, I know. And I think that's fine. I'm not saying it's not fine. I think it's fine to do it. It's just that in England we just told what to have, and then we have what's.
And also, in my
served.
defense, do you remember yours came with a little like side salad? And she
Yes.
asked, "Would you like the salad?" And you're like, "Oh, well, what is it?" And she said, "It's arugula, and it's
Yeah.
So she gave you the option.
The
she could have
greens.
left the greens.
Well,
yes.
she called them greens. So she called it greens. So I didn't know what greens it was going to be, whether it was going to be broccoli.
or cooked greens.
Yeah, yeah.
Or
So
what?
yeah, no, it did because it didn't say on the menu.
And on the menu, it said mine came with unbuttered wheat toast. I need a little butter on my toast.
Yeah.
And she buttered it perfectly, by the
Maybe
way.
she didn't. Maybe that was good because you were choosing from the healthy options, and I was not.
You
So that's
had-
probably why
you-
she
yeah.
unbutters your toast.
You had the bocado. That's what
Yeah,
yours was
but
called.
I was kind of torn. There was some other outrageously. It was so calorific. They didn't even dare put the number of calories by
No,
it.
she said that she asked the waitress, and the waitress was like, "I looked once, and then I never looked back." So,
It was carne asada meat with hash browns with everything under the sun.
oh,
And I thought I would have passed out after eating it. Wouldn't be able to make a step, and then I wouldn't be able to go shopping. I wouldn't be able to try on any clothes.
well, we did walk quite a bit. We had
Yeah,
over
we
our,
did.
our 10,000 steps yesterday, so we did really well.
Not too bad.
no.
Most
was
of it's
great.
shopping though.
Well,
No fast, heart racing.
I don't know. When you look at some of the prices of the places down here, my heart might have raced a little bit.
It is a little pricey, but it's lovely. It's fountains everywhere.
Yeah, City of Fountains is Kansas City. we went down to the plaza and they have a really big fountain and all of the like
Very pretty.
architectural stuff is the towers. There's
Yeah, and very artsy. Lots of really lovely shops.
Yeah.
Except for we went into one shop. There's one shop. Oh, the J. Crew. They had a sign on the door saying no public bathrooms in great big sign.
no baño.
No baño. And I was like, seriously, I wouldn't put that on the front door. That's not a very welcoming statement to somebody. I mean, I don't go into J. Crew thinking they're going to have a public potty.
Right. But do we want to talk about public potties?
Public potties? What is...
We went into
Someone
this
needs
like
to take care of them.
yeah, we went into this gift shop and just a little backstory. So I had been down in the plaza with a couple of people that are down here training as well. And I knew that Liz was coming, so we didn't go into a ton of places, but we did go into this shop that was like a souvenir.
Yeah, it had a lot of nice things.
Yeah.
Nice souvenir store.
And,
Expensive souvenir store.
You know, I needed to use the restroom, so I had asked the gentleman in the back because there's a code, and I said, "Hey, can I have the code to the bathroom?" So they gave me the bathroom. I think around 8713. And I go in there and you know, I just take a little pee and I go to flush the toilet and the handle's like bloop. And I'm standing there and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, it's a great thing I didn't have anything else going on in this bathroom right now.
Yeah.
And so it looked like somebody else had also, you know, peed before me, maybe male because there was no TP. And so I just kindly walked out and I said, hey, I just wanted to let you know that I used the restroom and the toilet is not flushing. And this person behind the counter was like, oh, okay. And I heard him talking to another associate, basically saying that, oh, I think I know what it is. I think you just have to take the tank off of it and reconnect it. And I'm thinking, I'm not a plumber. So I just kind of went about my business. So anyways, then we go in yesterday because...
Oh, well, let me say, we went in yesterday. So this is also a place that serves food.
Yes.
Mine does serve food or drinks. So that's why they have a public toilet. Because you don't have to have a public toilet, obviously, in a retail store of clothes and stuff. But this particular place was
It has a little bar in the back of it.
A little bar. So they have a public restroom. So I said to Missy, I said, I think I need to go to the bathroom. So off Missy gets the code for me because she couldn't remember it.
Well, no, remember too, you said
later.
it says that you can't get in without a receipt. And come to
Yes.
think of it, you don't get a receipt. They email you a receipt. So I don't know what they're talking about.
So that's what they gave us one. So anyway, so we were in there shopping and they gave the code. So I took the code, went in. Everything looked okay. So I went to the bathroom. Only I wasn't in the same situation as Missy.
It was after breakfast.
It was after breakfast. Yeah, very large breakfast. I know this might be TMI, people,
But this is why we're here, because this is what happens in real life.
I went to flush it. And of course, there was no flush. So I take the top off the back of the toilet because there's the lid, right?
You're now the
So
plumber.
I lift the lid off and I can see it's not catching. So I pull the thing to get it to flush. Nothing goes.
Were you starting to sweat?
Yes. Nothing goes. So then I attach the hook to the flushing mechanism and flush it again, hold it down to see if it would go. Partially went, partially came back. I'm like, oh my God, this is just a disaster. I tried a third time because I put the lid back on, took the lid off, put the lid back on, flushed it again. I'm like, I give up. This is not funny, you know, this is not good. So as I'm coming out of the bathroom, because it's a one-man stall.
Correct.
There's a guy coming in. So I just went, oh, it's terribly blocked. And then I walked away.
And Liz comes up to me and she's like, that bathroom is revolting.
It is revolting. And to think that they would have left it. But apparently the guy had said to Missy, oh, you just need to take the lid off the back. I mean,
yeah, no.
who suggests that?
Maybe that's a Kansas City thing. So needless to say, Liz kind of said, well, I'm ready to go. Let's go.
Let's make a hasty exit out of here. I don't want to be like charged for plugging the toilet.
And I wasn't quite sure what exactly happened until we left there. And then I realized the situation and we just had a great little laugh.
Oh.
But I feel like that happens at times. You know, we're women. Well, we're human. We have to go to the bathroom. Like there was one time I went to the Bahamas with a few girlfriends, and one of my friends went into the restroom in the hotel room, and she plugged the toilet, and there was no plunger, so we have to like call downstairs, and there's some cute bellman that comes up and literally like
That's so embarrassing.
hands her she's like, nope, I've got it. Like she was not gonna have him come in and do it. So she grabbed the plunger out of his hand so fast, and she take care of it. But it's like those stories are what make those vacations, because now we always talk about
I just
like,
can't imagine what it would be like to be a plumber and be going around unplugging people's toilets all day.
I mean, I work in a hospital, so I feel like it's a daily
Yes.
thing. But like when you're on vacation, you think of luxury and not having to do that.
Yeah, that's part of the job, isn't it? And you're probably not doing it every day.
No, I'm not. I call maintenance.
Yeah.
Oh, my stomach's growling. We're
Yeah,
gonna
it's
get
almost
ready.
breakfast time, isn't it?
Yes, we're gonna go and meet one of your girlfriends that lives in
Yeah,
town.
so I found my fabulous friend Elizabeth, and she lives down here now. And as I haven't been down here to visit, I said, hey, just in town. Very spontaneous visit. Come meet us for breakfast. And she's free, so we're going to go out and have some breakfast, hit Nordstrom Rack, do a bit more shopping. Hopefully find some more neat things that you don't ever see when you're in your own town. You know, there's all these kind of cutesy little places here. So and it's very easy to drive around. That's that one thing about coming to America. When you come into cities in America, you're coming in on a freeway and you come in so fast. It always gives me a massive rush. When you come into Kansas City, when you come into Nashville, when you come into Atlanta, when you come into Chicago.
And then you said too that you thought it was like once you got here, like, oh, it's different than what I thought it was going to be for a
Because
city.
it's spread out. But because when you're coming in to an American city on a freeway, they all look like the Emerald City in black and white, right? So you see these huge towering buildings, and it's so exciting for a Brit. Because in England, when you're coming into a city, it's normally hilly, and you don't get that fast approach on a flat with a massive landscape and just these huge towering buildings. You just don't get that. So when you come into a city here, it's just so exciting for me because I'm a city girl.
Yeah.
And I miss that. And so to come in and see these big buildings, I think, oh, there's going to be lots of life and lots of things happening. And yeah, the only thing I would come back and do is I would come back and do a jazz night. We had considered jazz night and a rooftop bar last night, but
Mother Nature had a different
Mother Nature had a
idea.
very different plan. I don't think neither Missy nor I would have wanted to be on a rooftop.
No,
in
I
80-mile-an-hour straight line.
and I had on a white tank top. I mean, we might get some free drinks out of it, but other than that, yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a very fun trip, and after breakfast and shopping, Liz is going to head back to town, and then, I'll see her again next week when I get back into town after training. But we just
Yay.
thought we'd get on here and talk a little bit about, vacations, girl vacations, what
So
those
much
look
fun.
like. So much fun, and just how to get out there and take the trip. She wasn't planning on coming, and then she's like, let me see if I can, pull this off. And it was
Yeah.
last minute, and I love that like spontaneousness of just like,
Yeah.
that wasn't the plan, but it worked out. And I'm so glad I had someone here to bum around with all weekend.
Yay. And I've had so much fun. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming. We'll talk to everyone again very soon. Have a great week.
Yes.
And
have a great week.
make sure to be kind to everyone.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Bye.